Abanisete, the ancestral masquerade. Ologobi town is a big town that reigned over the small villages around her. People of different tribes came to felicitate with the town. Even the whites were interested in their affairs. There was a masquerade in this town called Abanisete. It was a hunter's masquerade, whom the priest Alagba inherited from his grandfather. It was Abániṣẹtẹ's masquerade festival. People were gathered for the festival. Even the whites that mined in the nearby town came to witness the festival. It was time for Abániṣẹtẹ to display his omniscience. The priest in charge, Alagba, who had two sons, Onitiri and Ologbojo, they are known to have lump's head. Ologbojo, the younger of the son, was the one Abániṣẹtẹ picked among the two sons to always summon him. He had the same number of lumps as his father, 4 lumps, but his brother had 1. He called out Abániṣẹtẹ. People were amazed at his presence. Even the whites were surprised. He then summoned him to rise and bring the comfort water as usual. This comfort water eased all kinds of sickness and made the people whole. Abániṣẹtẹ brought this water, making the festival a perfect one. The people were happy, the whites were amazed, and the people fetched the water and they rejoiced. The whites mining for gemstones around the town, with so many laborers and soldiers with guns, told their spokesman about their interest in Abániṣẹtẹ. He then took them to the king, and he related the interest of the whites to the king and the chiefs on how they want to buy the masquerade with a lot of money that would transform the king, the chief, and the whole town. But they refused instantly. The matter was related to the priest in charge, Alagba, who instantly reminded them of how Abániṣẹtẹ used, revealed secrets of evil people, and cut off evildoers. He then refused all advances from the white. Onitiri and Ologbojo were good brothers who loved themselves so much and do a lot of things together. They went hunting, caught an antelope, and decided to sell it to a customer in the neighboring village. There they met Ibrahim, who took them home to her mother to sell the antelope and entertain them. But unknowing to them, something dangerous was already happening at home. Onitiri stood up with visions of sensitivity, saying he's going home. Some warriors came to attack the priest and take away Abániṣẹtẹ. After so much confrontation, they were able to defeat the priest. Onitiri arrived at the scene to help his father, also was killed by the bandits. Ologbojo witnessed this and quickly ran away. They then neutralized the masquerade with some charms and took it away. Ologbojo returned to Ibrahim and his mother for shelter. He couldn't help it but cried out loud. Report came to the king about the killing of the priest and his family and the disappearance of the masquerade. All fingers pointed to the white, but they couldn't attack back because of their merchandise. Things were not going on well again in Ologobi town. People got sick and were not healed. Even pregnant women could not conceive. No healing water for them. A big worry to the king and chiefs. The whites were finding it difficult to make the masquerade perform or even move. The masquerade mustn't touch the ground. If it does, it will move for the next 1 year, only if it is touched by the blood of the priest. But unfortunately and unknowingly for them, they sat him on the ground. Ologbojo came back to his town, called on the youth so they could plan on how to fight back. The youth leader told them to gather back the next day and confront the whites. Unknowingly to him, the youth leader is a part of the kidnapping scheme. He reported to the whites about the existence of Ologbojo and his act of vengeance. Ologbojo realized he has been deceived by the youth. He was then pacified by Ibrahim. It may seem there is something romantic about these two. Ologbojo tried to spiritually and logically penetrate into the camp of the white to carry Abániṣẹtẹ, but was noticed spiritually by one of them. He was chased, but managed to escape. He ran to Ibrahim's mother's town, was noticed by a secret agent from the enemy's camp. An attack was launched on Ibrahim's mother's house so as to get Ologbojo. Ibrahim's mother tried to defend them, but was overpowered and killed. Ibrahim and Ologbojo managed to run away while the place was destroyed. They went to an hidden forest where his father's friend Alajangbila lived, a place of fortress for him. Alajangbila, with different vision and sensation, told him more about himself and how he is to be the priest after his father. Then reinforced him with some of his children to fight the war with the whites. Then they embarked on the journey of war. Surprisingly for him, he met his brother Onitiri, who didn't die during the attack. It happened that his brother was the one who sold them out to the whites. He told them how to defeat the priest and how to carry the powerful masquerade, all for money. He explained to his brother how sorry he was and how he was manipulated by the white to do this. Ologbojo, filled with pain but yet still loved his brother, forgave him and joined forces together to defeat the whites. Unknowing for him, it was a plot to capture him, use his blood to waken the masquerade, because it is his blood only that can waken the masquerade, and after which, kill him. Onitiri shook Ologbojo with a knife and threw him in prison. He explained to him how he has been jealous of him since he was picked as the next priest and custodian of the masquerade, instead of him being the firstborn, and how he has been the one sabotaging all his plans ever since they lost their father. He then took Ologbojo's blood so as to waken the masquerade. Ologbojo stood up with a more divine power, and his friends arrived to help him out. A big war broke in the camp. They defeated lots of the soldiers. They were very skilled in fighting. The captains of the enemy were tough ones to defeat. They killed one of Ologbojo's friends, even injured Ibiwumi, all hope looking lost as it was a tough war. Then Abániṣẹtẹ the masquerade stood up from where they hid him, came for their rescue and subdued them all. They quickly took this advantage and slew the captain. Ologbojo faced his brother and allowed him his last speech and took his life. He was glad to have the ancestral masquerade back and he eulogizes it.